Let's continue with the poem. Now, in my last class, dear students, I gave you a background about an idea about the poem Ulysses by Lord Alfred Tennyson. Now, you already have an idea about what basically we are talking about in this poem. I gave you the mythological background of the name of Ulysses, the title of the poem, how it's connected to, and also that what does that name signifies. Now, let's begin with the text. It little profits that an idle king, by the still hearth among those barren crags, matched with an aged wife, I met and dole unequal laws into a savage race, that hoard and sleep and feed and know not me. Now, see how Tennyson begins the poem. The first line of the poem is very significant when he talks about it little profits that an idle king. Now, here, as I already told you in my last class, that this poem has been written in the form of dramatic monologue. And you already know what is dramatic monologue by now. It's a kind of a speech made by a single speaker, and the rest are the listeners. So, here, the dramatic monologue, mono means one, and log is a conversation, a kind of a speech. And dramatic, of course, concerned with drama, something that has got all the dramatic ingredients into it. So here, Ulysses is the one who is the narrator, and that's why he is the one who's uttering these lines. He expresses his frustration at how dull and pointless his life now seems, as he is the king of Ithaca. Now he's the king of Ithaca, so he just thinks that he's an idle king. Idle king, yeah, why he's calling himself as an idle king? Because he feels that a king's life should be full of adventure, full of excitement, full of achievements, full of wars, full of battles, full of the reformations, full of what you can say, enthusiasm, and that he is not able to find in himself as a king. That's why he's expressing his frustration and also a kind of a helplessness, that why he is not being able to prove himself as an efficient king. So he talks here that he's trapped at home on the rocky islands of Ithaca, and he feels that he has to just move out and work on his life and on his adventures. He says his wife is old and he must spend his time enforcing imperfect laws as he attempts to govern people he considers stupid and uncivilized. So he says that he is being matched with an aged wife, no matter. Here, the irony is that he is not considering himself to be aged. He's considering his wife, that he is accompanied with a wife who's aged. And he says that he has to govern a kind of citizens and the people who are really savage, uncivilized. They are not aware of the laws of the country and the city, and they are a kind of savage race. Now, in the eyes of Ulysses, all his people, the people of his kingdom, they do is to try to store up wealth, sleep, and eat. So, what exactly they are busy in? They don't understand the laws of nature, neither laws of the country, and they are only engaged in doing three things that a human being does and is equalized to an animal who does it. That is to collect, hoard, to sleep, and to feed. So, eating, sleeping, and collecting, this is all the work that the people are doing in his city. So, he says that they are just making no significant use of their lives. They have no conception of who Ulysses really is or what life has been like. So, neither they are aware of the king, what kind of a king they have, the value of the king, and neither they are aware of their own lives, what kind of a lives, what kind of significance their lives have, what kind of a fruitfulness their lives will provide them. So that's why Ulysses still yearns to travel the world like he used to do. As long as he's alive, he doesn't want to stop doing the things that, in his eyes, make life worth living. So he's saying, I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to these are very important and significant lines of the poem, and lines of much inspiration to the young people. When Ulysses says that I cannot rest from travel, he says I cannot sit at one place and just pass away my life like this. I will drink life to the least. To the least means to the maximum. I will make use of the life to its maximum level. And he says, I will drink life to the least. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone on the shore. And when through scudding drifts the rainy heights vexed this empty. So Dempsey, sorry. So Ulysses here yearns to travel the world, and he also likes to uh, have the things according to his own way. He found joy, he claims, in every moment he spent traveling. Even at the times when he was suffering, he found joy both when he was with his faithful crew members and also he was with himself. So we'll continue with the further lines in the next class. Thank you.